But Heidi Giokos, let's come back to you on this and what you were just hearing from the police minister a moment ago, saying especially last night's incident in Braamfontein, minimum force having to be used.
Yes, certainly. I think the big news coming out this morning is the fact that 57 people have been arrested, and this all in connection with the shutdown. The question that was posed to the minister was, why were the 57 people arrested? And this obviously has to do with them possibly intimidating or obstructing anybody wanting to go to work or any kind of road, which we do know was declared by the Western Cape High Court as well as the court in Gauteng to be unlawful. Anybody can protest, but there should be no force or intimidation or obstruction to anybody wanting to go to work or wanting to go about their day. As you mentioned, rightfully so, Gareth, that about 24,000 tyres have been confiscated across the country. We had been seeing these videos from around the country of people, dropping off tyres at certain areas, but the police minister saying that that is seen as a tool of trade, and this is why they have since been confiscated. The good news is that the minister saying it's relatively calm across the country for now. There have been no major incidents that have been reported or obstruction to any kind of major intersection. There seems to be some kind of report of a butchery that caught fire in Dube, Soweto, but the minister saying it's not necessarily linked to the shutdown, and of course they'll be monitoring that situation very closely.
Let you go, Heidi. We mentioned, the police minister also just appealing for peaceful protest, but reiterating that they're still working alongside, members of the SANDF and private security just to continue monitoring the situation. So is it an early victory, or is there so much more work still to be done in terms of monitoring by the police minister?
Yes, I think one could claim early victory for now, but the day is still very early. I don't even think it's 7 o'clock as yet. And this is why they need to monitor the situation very closely. I'm going to ask my colleague Asanda to just show you that about 8 helicopters landed here in Mayfair, and this is part of their operation here in Gauteng. It's not just the police, but also private security that have been brought in. They will, of course, be working very closely together with the SANDF. And the question was also posed to the minister to say, why exactly is the SANDF being brought in only now? There's been a call for government to try and deal with the massive crime issue in this country, and suddenly now, when there is a possibility of a national shutdown, over 3,000 soldiers are being deployed. But the minister's saying that they have to have boots on the ground. They have to try and control the situation as much as possible. Asanda is currently showing you how private security has, of course, also been brought in to control the situation should there be any volatility. But for now, it does remain very calm. Tumelo, we will be moving in and around Johannesburg, making our way to Soweto now, where we do know there might be some kind of disruption there. But we'll, of course, bring you all those details. But for now, even driving to work, Tumelo, it was very calm on the roads. We saw taxis, we saw buses, we saw people making their way and going about their day as per usual.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, Heidi Giokos, as we continue to monitor the national shutdown for the rest of the day. And interestingly, Heidi, as we're speaking about, private security involvement, in the next hour, I'll be speaking to Kumbulani Moyo as KAU, the Kongwini Amalgamated Workers Union, calling for members and other security officers not to block protesters today. So we'll have that conversation as we continue to monitor the national shutdown.
Absolutely. We'll monitor it from the skies as well. There's live footage coming to us from Des and Tathia and our team down in Durban.